So I've been seeing quite a lot of videos of mages from the TBC beta farming slave pens and discussions around this. And it's looking right now like even with the AoE cap, they will be able to farm slave pens pretty efficiently. Whether or not this should be in the game, I'm not sure, but it seems to be a thing. So I figured I could make this video. It's from the private server Light's Vengeance, just to showcase that what's possible as a Paladin too. And there are some quirks on this server which I will point out. But yeah, I think it at least shows what's possible here, and I will point out some stuff along the way. But we're starting off the pool here by pulling these bug strokes and these nagas. And the thing you gotta watch out for here is both that the bug strokes use an armor penetration debuff, which is stacked up 3 times on me right now. And also that these slaves are ranged, so you want to stack them up. Now this pull isn't that hard, like especially with the gear I have right now. But you still want to use your wings pretty early and have your trinkets ready. There I popped the figurine of the Colossus to heal back up. And I still have the Morose trinket available. And the reason you want to use wings early is to make the forbearance buff go away in case you need to shield. I don't believe I have to shield in this pull, but it's nice to be able to at the end. The gear I have is some Sunwell badge gear, tier 5 gear, tier 6 gear. It's pretty decent gear, so this is not comparable to some Paladin going into TBC immediately from vanilla. But I think also you should be able to min-max quite a bit more than I'm doing here. Like this is just straight up brain dead pulling, and I'm not using any particular gear like Demon Forge Breastplate or Petrified Lichen Guard. I have it, but I'm not using it here. So there is definitely a room for better pulling. Now, these mobs aren't that hard, as I said, but there are some mobs coming up that you should avoid. Also, the disease debuff isn't, it's just 25 strength, so yeah, don't think about that. But these next, yeah, there they are, coming around, the champions. Yeah, they do a very nasty fear. You cannot take them as a paladin unless you can kite them like the mages. But I mean, in general, you don't wanna fight those. I was a bit unlucky with the pathing here. So I gotta wait for them to go back and skip them. I'm not sure how this would be if you have boosties. You probably would have to kill them, but they are pretty annoying, so you definitely don't want to do that. You should probably try to position the boosties at some point in this room so they don't have to move forward. But yeah, here you can see me skipping them. It's pretty easy on the side here. Now in this big room, mages can pull more or less everything here. Due to Blizzard and abusing the ledge in the boss room. You can't do that, because these mobs do fear and other stuff which isn't really beneficial. They also knock down, if I don't remember wrongly. But yeah, I was a bit unlucky with the pathing there too, because I want to pull the bug strokes the other way, opposite to where I'm doing now, but this works too. I'm also picking up one slave handler and slave pack on the way. And then I'm moving all over to the other bug strokes here. The slave handlers do a hamstring, and you also get slowed by the frostbolt, so you definitely want to free them here. But apart from that, you always want to have a Blessing of Sanctuary to reduce the damage you take. Now I use wings pretty early here too, there you go. And it's more important for this one, to be honest, because these hurt more. And with more bug strokes on you, you're more likely to have the armor penetration debuff stacked up with the 3 debuff stacks, 45% less armor, more. You really gotta rely on pushing that debuff off, which here I'm doing with the Morose trinket. and you see it gets pushed off. You can also push it off pretty reliably with Greed Out and Holy Shield, but it's not a guarantee. And with the Morose Trinket I am extremely close to being passively avoidance kept with this gear, so yeah, just keep that in mind. Now here I have the figurine up, so I'm healing, and then the debuff isn't really a thing you gotta worry about. And I'm keeping up Seal of Wisdom and Judgment of Wisdom here to regen mana, and generally just using Consecration to nuke the mobs down. I also have the Threat Righteous Fury buff up, because it reduces my damage taken by 6% from talents. But I'm running the Sanctity Aura build instead of the Avenger's Shield build, which is purely for raiding, to be honest, in the raid environment. I mean, it's more beneficial. So yeah, you can see Forbearance is faded, so if I needed it, I could have shielded. The debuff is on me now, but the mobs are dying. Just be careful of not pulling the Pat, which is coming around there. You don't want to have that. Yeah, there we go. So these next mobs, the defenders, they are, I'm not going to say nasty, but they are kind of annoying. They do a spell reflect, which Consecration isn't affected by, but your judgments are and your seals, so that's annoying. And they also do a knockback, which is more important, to be honest, because if you have a lot of mobs on you and you get knockback stunned, then you're going to take a lot of damage. So I think in Classic TBC, I would definitely just reset them in the next room, because the box is a reset spot. But on this server, that box is not a reset spot and the ledge doesn't work, so yeah, here I just kill them. You could basically detract the time I use there to kill those from the total time, because you probably wouldn't do this in Classic. You could also probably kill the slave handlers and slaves out there pretty easily, but I'm not doing it here right now because I want to get into the boss room. And also it's harder for me because they are ranged, and also on this server they are a little bit buggy, so yeah. Now I do realize there will probably be some comments on this where people saying like this is a raid geared paladin versus like level 64 mages doing this on the beta right now, which is fair, but then again I'm also not trying to show this as a farm right now. I'm just trying to show what's possible, like a showcase basically. And I think also in Classic and on the TBC beta, since you can abuse the ledge, you would have a pretty good chance at just kiting, like mages do. You probably wouldn't be able to pull as big because you don't have any slows, but with the Pursuit of Justice, with 15% extra movement speed, you can outrun a lot of stuff. So you will probably be able to do some big pulls and abuse the ledge to AoE stuff down. Since you're not AoE capped also, you would be able to do more damage, and you can cleanse the cripple or freedom yourself, so that's not as big an issue as it is for mages. So I fully expect there to be better opportunities for paladins in TBC than there is on this server. 100%. Now in this room here, all the mobs are pretty harmless, to be honest. They don't do any stuns. They do the cripple, but yeah, like I said, you can just free them or purge it. So yeah, pulling them is pretty easy, just strafe, don't turn your back too much to them. And gather them up. The Rain of Fire isn't really that dangerous. You can move a little bit if you wanna, but it doesn't really hurt that much. You resist a little bit of it. So yeah, I'm using Freedom, and when I'm getting over here I'm gonna rebuff Sanctuary and start Wings and start AoE. And again, keep up Seal of Wisdom and Judgment of Wisdom. So you really want to push how much health you can have before you pop the trinket, because you want to get as much out of it as possible. Because once you pop it, you're gonna start healing like crazy. And I also keep the Morose trinket in reserve if I have to time forbearance. In this pull I barely need to bubble, but I also don't use any consumables. I don't use the Petrified Lichen Guard. Yeah, I don't use a lot of items that could help this, help speed this up quite a bit. So yeah, there's a lot of potential there if you want to min-max this. Skull Flame Shield might work better than we anticipate. Demon Forge Breastplate might be a thing. A lot of stuff like that. I'm just using my bog standard tanking gear in this showcase basically. So max mitigation. For the bog stroke packs you also really don't want to use anything less than max mitigation, because you gotta push off the debuff. So using the Petrified Lichen Guard on those isn't a great idea, to be honest. So yeah, here I bubble just to kill off the last mobs and get in a healing. Holy Light. But yeah, it's not that hard. You don't want to pull the boss with this, because the boss has some totems which greatly reduces the damage these mobs take and also hurts you quite a bit, so yeah, that's gonna be a bad time. Maybe possible in Classic since you can abuse the ledges here and reset spots, but on this server those don't work. I've tried it. But yeah, it's pretty fast. You can probably detract like, I don't know, like 2-3 minutes from the time from the defenders. So 9 minutes, cleared quite a bit of mobs.